What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Skewered Universe Podcast. This is episode 5 and part 2, the conclusion to my Marvel discussion with my good friend Chris. So let's just dive right in, and I hope you guys enjoy it. The Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
yeah.
He likes that kind of stuff. He's a huge D&D player. Vin Diesel is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, all right. You're a nerd. You just happen to be a muscle-bound nerd.
Right. We're not totally mad at you.
Yeah.
If anything,
there's a video out there of him breakdancing in the 80s, so...
Would you see Infinity War again?
Definitely.
Definitely. You would definitely see that
Definitely see it again. And one reason is to pick up on things that I may have missed in the first watch.
Would you pay full price?
I would pay to go see it again in 3D like I did.
Oh, in 3D?
Yeah.
You went...
Well, I took a day off to go see it, so basically it was the same price as a regular movie ticket to see it in 3D. I was like, well, if I'm going by myself.
You're going
I'm
all
going
in.
to the Dine-In AMC Theater.
Right.
I'm going to get myself some food. I'm going to get myself something to drink. I'm going to watch it in 3D, and I'm going to enjoy myself. This is a whole...
It's
I
a
made
thing.
an event for myself.
It's a thing.
And the one thing I like about the Marvel 3D, it doesn't feel hokey.
Right.
Like, they incorporate it so it gives you a feel for what's going on. Like Ant-Man. It was really well used in Ant-Man. When you see him shrink down and all that, it was done well. The 3D in Guardians, I saw it, I think, twice in theaters in 3D.
Okay.
It just gives you the scope of everything for Guardians 2.
Right.
So you feel like, okay, now I know how vast this universe is that they're in.
Correct.
I can see the
It's a
depth
bigger
of
playground.
everything. Yeah. And it was the same in Infinity War. Like, when you get to Wakanda in that whole battle scene, just the layout of everything, you're like, oh, shit. This is huge.
What about my man Doc Strange?
You know, I didn't think I was going to like the Doctor Strange movie.
Fucking incredible, dude.
And I'm sold, man. I was like, when I heard Benedict Cumberbatch, I'm like, okay, I know the guy's a good actor. I just don't know enough about Doctor Strange to have an opinion, so I'm just going to wait for the movie. Saw it, and I was like, that was great. I loved it.
Disney, I have a script for the Micronauts if you want to get into that. I'm your guy. I am your guy for the Micronauts.
The Micronauts. Oh,
that's
man.
next, dude. If we did all of that with the Inhumans and Howard the Duck, dude, Fantastic Four for the fourth time, dude. Actually, fifth. I don't know if you remember that campy one that was back in the 80s.
There was the Roger Corman one that really has never been released except on bootleg. Yeah. There was that.
Roger
one.
Corman, like the horror guy?
Yeah, like Roger Corman, Little Shop of Horrors, Roger Corman, A Bucket of Blood, Roger Corman, you know.
He was the one who did that first Fantastic Four?
He also did, I think, 1 or 2 Captain America.
Right.
Yeah.
Very bright colors.
Bright colors, very... Very 1970s, 1980s made-for-TV movie.
We have a helmet.
Yeah.
We have a helmet.
And a motorcycle. Wait, why is he dressed like Evel Knievel?
A helmet.
Hey, it's the 70s. What do you want?
A helmet.
Yeah, I've only seen images and little clips on YouTube from it, and I'm just like...
Dude, Doctor Strange was fucking incredible, dude. It was incredible.
It was...
My girlfriend wasn't wearing glasses at the time. She didn't bring her glasses, and I'm kind of glad... I'm kind of glad you didn't bring your glasses, babe, because there was a lot of spinning buildings, windows upon windows upon windows. If you weren't ready for that,
if you get motion sickness easy, that's not the movie for
you. No.
I had seen it once, and then a few weeks ago I decided I'm going to watch it again, and my girl was like kind of off and on watching it.
Yeah.
And then she kind of at one point just stopped and was watching it. She was like, that was actually really good. And she doesn't really like these movies.
Right.
She liked Guardians 2. We ended up... The reason we saw Guardians 2 in the theater, we got together with a bunch of friends and went to see it.
Okay.
She was like, I didn't see the first one, but, you know, I just want to go hang out with friends. We'll see it. She loved it.
Right.
She went back and saw the first one. She goes, I like part 2 better, but I'm glad I saw part 1 so I know who these characters are now.
Correct.
So I was like, okay, good. But she doesn't really like all the other... Infinity War, not her thing. Spider-Man, she's seen part of it. And it's like, I'd like to go back. She wants to go back and watch the Thor movies because she wants to see Ragnarok because she's like, that looks like it'd be fun.
Right.
And I told her, I said, it has a very Guardians 2 feel. It's fun, it's bright, and they've nailed the Thor character. I think this was the best portrayal of Thor.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I just came off watching number 1, and I'm like, Father.
I did like that.
Father.
I did like that. The only thing is, sometimes it gets a little, not the acting, but the direction of Kenneth Branagh, who did it.
Okay.
It can seem a little overly pretentious at times, but that's Kenneth Branagh.
Well, we're talking mythology.
Yeah.
So.
Mythology, it was very Shakespearean, which I liked. I liked the Shakespeare touch to that.
Father.
You know? I'm going to have to go back and watch it again.
Brother.
She wants to watch them both. So I told her the first one was good. I told her the second one, The Dark World, I'm like, it's okay. A lot of people say it's the worst Marvel film. Like, I don't feel that way.
No, I'm in.
It's good.
I'm in.
It may not be as good as the first one, but it's good.
I'll tell you what's wrong with the Thor movies. You want to hear it? You really want it?
Yeah,
I'll
do it. You got an open forum.
Zachary Levi is not that dude. The dude
they
that
recast him after the first one.
Again, the okey doke, dude. We got okey doke again. So in Thor, they see Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 show up in New Mexico, right? They're walking down the street, and one of the Shields guys goes, "Yeah, we got Jackie Chan." We got Jackie Chan, Robin Hood, and I forgot what the girl.
Oh man,
she's
I can't remember what he said either, and I remember the Jackie Chan and Robin Hood.
Yeah, we got what is it? What was the name? But he said, "Yeah, we got Jackie Chan and Robin Hood up in here." I'm like, "Oh, dude!" Like, ah.
Yeah, I don't remember. There was a reason. I looked it up. There was a reason why they recast, and I don't remember what it was. But
and now he's Shazam. You will be forever known as Chuck.
I saw pictures of him in the Shazam costume, and I'm like, if they go with kind of a campy feel as to, which it looks like is what they're doing.
A campy feel to Shazam? Yeah. They're going to do a campy version of Shazam?
I don't know if it's going to be super campy, but remember, I mean, Shazam is basically the kid who turns into a hero. So you would think...
But he's not playing Billy Batson. He's playing Shazam.
He's playing Shazam.
He's playing Captain Marvel.
The way the suit looks in that looks very much like the comics. Okay. And it's kind of got the muscle padding in that, because Zachary Levi's not a big guy.
Well, with a lot of money and a great trainer, the guy's going to be...
True. I mean, look what Chris Pratt did. Slimmed down and all of a sudden had abs, and it's like, what?
But, dude, you're going to have The Rock as Black Adam. Like, how could this one be...
That, to me, is pretty good casting.
No, what I'm saying, those dudes are going to meet up. You can't have a campy Shazam.
No.
You're going to have
I think it's going to be campy in the sense that they're making the Shazam character be what a kid would perceive a superhero to be. Like, what his idea, like, oh, if I say this word, I'm going to be a superhero. Right. So, I look at it, and this is what I read online, too, and it made sense, because I don't know a lot about the Shazam character other than what I've seen in a couple of the DC animated films.
Right.
But they're going, yeah, what would a kid project a superhero to be? So I'm like, I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, okay. Hopefully we don't get the, is your mom Martha? My mom's Martha too. Let's be friends.
Well, that's another podcast.
That's a different podcast, but... We're talking about Marvel.
We're talking about Marvel. Well, we're talking about recasting here, and I just did not believe that guy. They should... What did he say, dude? We got Jackie Chan... Robin Hood.
I'm going to check it on IMDb and see if the line's there, because sometimes in the trivia, you can get lucky.
Well, dude, the guy's a brunette. They made him dye his hair. He had the handlebar mustache way out of control. Yeah, it was all over the place.
Speaking of that, so we remember the first Thor film.
Correct.
He's got the long blonde hair. His facial hair is blonde. His eyebrows are bleached out. By the time we get to Thor Ragnarok, he's got his normal colored hair, his normal eyebrows and that. And a buddy of mine who does a podcast, he was saying, I think at this point Chris Hemsworth has just said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to look like myself and play Thor. I don't want to do the bleaching of the hair anymore, so let's just not do it. And they're like, okay, why not?
Doesn't matter about the bleached hair. Doesn't matter about the bleached beard. Dude, but his eyebrows just...
so funny.
Oh dude. God. That was probably the worst thing they could have done is have that guy have no eyebrows, basically.
Yeah.
Because he's a blonde dude, so you're gonna bleach his eyebrows or whatever. Dude, I cannot get past his eyebrow. And then he's got mascara on to make his eyes look a little bit swollen. I mean, sullen. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more grit to it, dude. And it's just basically you just put mascara on this dude and eyeliner, and
I remember when I saw it the first, I was like, bleach his eyebrows?
No, I didn't.
What?
Well, you thought that when you first saw that? When you first saw the movie? I had to look back on it after years after. I'm like, oh, dude, that Thor movie was bad, bro. They messed him up.
Because now you're like, it looks more natural. That first one, they're like, no, he's, it's like, I was willing to forgive it because the rest of the movie was really good. So I found the line.
Okay.
So there's the conversation. It says, one guy says, about Thor's Asgard buddies, is there a Renaissance fair in town?
Right.
Another agent tells him to call it in, and he goes, yeah, base, we've got Xena, Jackie Chan, and Robin Hood. I'm like,
that's it.
Okay, all right.
I'm done. Oh, I was sold. Like, dude, they hit him with the car,
man.
And then they hit him with the car again, and they hit him with the car twice, and then something else happens. It's just okay. So they hit him with the car 2 times. Oh, dude, he's like trying to get out of the compound, or no, the hospital, and he's fighting everybody, and he's like, I am Thor. And then they stick him with like the syringe, and his face just slides up against the window. His nose is all. After that, dude, I'm like, that's it. That's my guy. He's my guy. And they're writing good stuff for him.
Yeah.
They're writing great lines for him.
He's got real good comedic timing. So when it comes down
it doesn't
to
matter about his.
like,
it doesn't matter about it.
But it's believable. It comes off as like
hell yeah.
It's and the play between him and Loki,
brother,
back and forth between those two,
brother, father, Odin's son, father. By the way, just like whatever, because I saw it, and I'm watching it on DVR. Transformers, Anthony Hopkins is in there. Terrible so far.
Oh, the most recent one that came out?
Yeah.
The last night or whatever. I stopped watching after the first one.
After the first Transformers?
While I enjoyed some of the action sequences,
okay,
it was way too much Michael Bay for me, meaning way too much slow-mo. Overly done action sequences or transforming sequences, millions of little parts. I'm like,
yeah.
It's like you could have simplified it, and I would have still been on board.
Right, and just the only reason why I'm saying that is because this dude is in. He's Odin.
Yeah, he's Odin.
He's Odin. Odin's son. Father. I think with that movie, it's like, okay, dude, I can believe Natalie Portman is in that movie. I could believe that Kat Denning is in that movie because you're not going to trump Natalie Portman, Academy Award winning actress, or whatever your accolades are, Princess Amidala, right?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, she's
Padme.
Padme.
Is Padme all right? Okay.
What happened to Padme?
Okay. Dude, Chris Hemsworth just trumps all of those guys, dude. He's just that guy.
He is Thor.
Right.
What do you think about it? He is Thor. It's the same way I feel about Robert Downey Jr.
as Iron
Tony
Man.
Stark. The reason I say that, and a lot of people were like, oh, how could you cast him? It's kind of weird. I'm like, let's look at Tony Stark as a person. Let's forget about Iron Man for a second.
Okay.
Tony Stark as a person. Alcoholic.
Right.
Mood swings. He's imperfect.
Correct.
He doesn't always think rationally. He becomes reactionary. Let's look at Robert Downey Jr.'s personal history, the drug abuse, the alcohol,
right.
all that.
Perfect
Who
casting.
else is going to understand
right.
the workings of that character
Correct.
than someone who's been down those roads?
Correct.
So I was like, I thought Jon Favreau nailed it when he fought to get Robert Downey Jr. in.
I never knew that was his. Was his.
I don't
casting.
remember who they had in mind to play him, but Favreau was like, look, if you want me to direct, I really think that Robert Downey Jr. would be great for this role.
Well, here's the thing with that. It's when I first saw Thor, now I'm seeing it again, and then, Thor, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Civil War. I just saw when they first casted him, that the actor that played Tony Stark should have just been a little bit older. But now I don't see anybody else that could have done it that way.
I can see what you're saying, because you would think someone who's been a little bit older would.
Well, just the way that they draw him, or the way that they portray him, they've always drawn that guy as a full beard.
Right.
The guy was always in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
Like, the way that they draw him, like, the dude's he's an old man, dude. Like, in every comic that comes out with Iron Man, the guy's got a full-on beard.
Yeah.
He's cashing
never
his...
been a young cat. So.
He's getting his free dinner over at Denny's on his birthday. You know, you just... The AARP card, it's just always been an older guy. And
yeah, you know, he becomes Iron Gramps later on, you know.
He's always perpetually in his 40s.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, okay, well, and then when you see this guy, you're like... But the way they did the backstory, the way they hooked it up with... And you'll have to go back and watch Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to go back and watch them all again. I have to start buying them. It's the only Marvel MCU movie I have right now is Avengers.
Right. That's how I started.
And I got to dip into the Blu-ray because I don't want to buy DVD. I mean...
Correct. Yeah.
If I'm going to pay for it, I want quality.
Just make sure it's not in French. Don't buy it from Amazon.
Exactly.
Yeah. So... Yeah, that was my only take on it, but I don't see that guy as being in. But okay, then what did they Fabulous Baker Boys, Big Lebowski. Okay, yeah, his character in there, Obadiah
Stane.
Okay. The way they did the montage of him. And by the way, let's give Howard Stark like his props. This dude's he's worked with everybody apparently, right?
Yeah, apparently.
He worked with Mickey Rourke's dad on The Reactor, okay?
He worked with what essentially would become S.H.I.E.L.D. later on. He worked with the military when they were forming with the Captain America project.
Worked with
Agent Soldier.
Right, he worked with Agent Carter, right?
Yeah.
What was the other dude that we said earlier? Hank Pym.
I think.
This dude's been everywhere. The dad, not even Tony Stark. That dad has been working with everybody for this whole situation.
So, like, what else are we going to find out in later movies?
What are we going to find out later? Stark. Great.
Oh, well, okay. Howard Stark was on the team that kind of helped develop this thing that became Captain Marvel. So, like, wait, whoa.
Right.
No, that was Alien. What's going on?
Correct. Like, so, apparently he had everything to do with everything, right? So, you're like, dude, I'm liking the montage if you go back to watch Iron Man, the montage of Obadiah carrying this dude. Mm-hmm. And then, okay, he's the prodigal son returns to the company. He takes over.
Right.
I like how all of that happened. I just think like, wow, man, Howard Stark is just everywhere. And then Civil War, you get that like, fuck, dude, that's how they died. That's pretty raw.
Okay, speaking of Civil War.
Okay.
So, and we're gonna touch on Ant-Man here real quick again. I mean, we're jumping around all over the place here.
Well,
I love it. It all comes together,
right?
So, in Ant-Man. Now, you saw the scenes where they aged down Michael Douglas for the previous scenes of him playing a younger Hank Pym. How did you feel that looked?
Not as freaky as I found Robert Downey Jr. as a young kid in Iron Man. No, in Civil War.
Civil War. Okay,
and then
that's what I was
Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher in Rogue One.
See, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Rogue One, so I don't know. Yeah, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I have not seen Rogue One. I have
it's
not
on
seen
Netflix.
The Last Jedi.
It's
on
Netflix. You don't need to see Last Jedi. You don't need to see it. Just watch Rogue One.
I'm a completionist. I have to see The Last Jedi. Regardless of what I've heard about it, I have to see it. Okay,
I'm speechless, ladies and gentlemen. My mouth is still open.
I'm that guy who, if you recommend the TV show,
if there's a dentist out there, you have a free shot in my mouth because my mouth is just dropped.
I'm telling you, I'm that guy. If you recommend a TV show, I have to go back to the very beginning and watch from episode 1 all the way up until where it's at. So if you told me about a show that's on right now, I got to go back to the beginning. I can't just pick up a show.
But you're not doing.
And I can't just watch a movie series and miss one entry, even if it's bad. I still have to see it so I know what's going to happen for the next one.
But by that rationale, you are not doing it that way. You're not doing it that way. If you think about what you're saying right now, you're not doing it that way.
But I didn't miss installments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I watched them after Infinity War. So my strategy there was a little off. This is the first time I've done that, but I had to in order to make sure that I got to see Infinity War in theaters. Because I wasn't sure how long the wait was going to be before that hits home video.
Okay, but if you were going to do it your way, the way you're thinking, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to watch the Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, the third one where it all goes down. Then you're going to watch Rogue One, and then you're going to watch Star Wars Empire, Return of the Jedi.
Oh, see, I've seen all of those, so I don't have to go back and see those again.
Well, we're talking... Okay.
Right.
So
what I'm saying is,
in
I
the
still
Star
have to
Wars
see
universe,
Rogue One, and then I'll have to see The Last Jedi, because I saw The Force Awakens, but I just haven't seen Rogue One or Last Jedi yet. So those are the two in the Star Wars franchise I haven't seen.
Okay.
So that's where I still have to see those.
You by now know what they did with Carrie Fisher in that scene.
Oh,
You've seen the...
I've seen shots of it. I've seen the stills. I've seen... Yeah. They actually had...
Somebody cut it. Somebody cut it on YouTube recently where it shows you Rogue One going into Last Hope.
Right.
They cut it to so you could see that transition. But you watch that in the big theater, and it's already a spoiler for you because you've already seen what it is.
Right.
But you watch that in the big theater. You watch Rogue One in the big theater. It's a what the fuck? You know, it's that kind of a moment. You're like, what? You see it. You know it's coming. When she turns around, you're like, what? Like,
see, I heard people say the same thing because they had Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One
that's
as well.
a whole
Peter
nother.
Cushing and...
That's a whole nother mind fuck, dude. That's a whole nother mind fuck. And that is...
What? I'm like, oh. And...
That is a whole nother... Okay, so you're still trying to trip off of... You're still tripping on that. You're thinking Peter Cushing's... Okay, you're still tripping on that, right?
Right.
And then you see Carrie Fisher, you see the back of Princess Leia, and you're like, I know it's coming. And then you see it, and then you're like, fuck, it's another mind fuck, bro. What kind of herb is this, bro? Like, what? Like, you turn to your neighbor, and you go, what? Like, it's like a Family Guy moment. It's like, what? You know?
I will say, at least the technology has gotten to a point where they can do that, and it doesn't look so bad, because I know there's something where something like that happened. Oh, I know what it was. There was an episode of The Sopranos. I never watched the show.
Okay.
But the mom had died.
Okay.
The actress that played Tony's mom had died.
Right.
But they still had to finish a scene, so they, like, CGI'd her. Oh.
Okay.
I was like, I heard people going, oh, man, it's freaky. It's real bad. It's this whole uncanny valley thing, because it doesn't quite look real, but... So I went and looked it up on YouTube, and
okay,
it's creepy. It's fucked up.
So getting back to your question, the Michael Douglas, not as much as the Robert Downey Jr. When that Robert Downey Jr. thing came out, and I think this was before Rogue One, right?
Yeah,
way before Rogue One. You're like, what? And then there's been so many shots of Robert Downey Jr. that you CGI in and make.
I figured they probably just took a couple of the older films he was in when he was younger.
Right.
I was looking at it going, I'm like...
His eyes are bug out already, and then they bugged him out like when he was like 22 years old or whatever,
I'm looking
18.
At it going, I'm like, this is convincing that there's a younger Robert Downey Jr. there, but at the same time, this is kind of tripping me out because I'm like, I don't know, man. It's fine. It works to give you but it's still...
Well, they did the same thing with Kurt Russell, too, right? In Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and it was crazy because they didn't... I don't think they had to do as much with Kurt Russell because it's basically just kind of erased the lines on his forehead and darken up his hair and he's fine. The guy hasn't really aged. He's still,
Well, what I'm thinking is that they've had so much footage of Kurt Russell and they've had so much footage of Michael Douglas and they've had so much footage of Robert Downey Jr. by now that becomes easier.
Yeah. You have all that you can go through and go, okay, well, we're going to take from here. And with Robert Downey Jr., you can pull up any of the movies he's been in and be like, oh, we're going to take some from Less Than Zero.
That's all you need to do is take it from Less Than Zero. And,
that's what I was thinking at first. I'm like, did they grab this from Less Than Zero?
And back to school, where he gets on the floor and he starts acting like, oh, man, Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh,
so I'm done, dude. I think we've covered it all. Oh, Ant-Man coming out July 6th because that's close to my birthday.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then we got to wait a whole nother year for Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
What a drag.
March of next year. And then May is Infinity War. And I think there's one more film in between those two that's coming out. And I can't remember what it is.
Captain Marvel, Avengers, Ant-Man, Black Panther, the new Black Panther movie.
Yeah, there's going to be another Black Panther movie.
And that's it. We still kind of have to figure out how they're going to get rid of Chris Evans as...
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the major stakes in the next Infinity War movie. I think Cap's going to... I think Captain America
I was expecting
and
him
Iron Man
to...
are both going to die in the next film.
I was expecting Chris Evans to die. I was expecting that to happen in this movie, and it never happened.
You know what I didn't expect? Was
What?
to see Black Panther get dusted. I was not expecting that. That was the one that kind of caught me out of nowhere.
I think you're onto something because I think people were like, "Well, what's going to happen?"
He walks over to, I think it was Okoye, his general.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, my king," or something. And he goes, "Today's not a good day to die." Dust. I just went, "What the fuck?"
You know the one that burns me up, and I'm tapped, dude. I'm tapped. We could talk about this forever, but I'm pretty much out of subjects. Idris Elba, my man, Luther.
Man.
Luther.
Yeah.
Do you know he came out in a show about a detective? Did you ever watch that show?
I never watched it. I wanted to.
Dude.
I wanted to.
JB, dude, you gotta watch that.
Actually, in that podcast I used to listen to that one of my friends used to be on, he would talk about it all the time.
Luther.
It's a great show.
DCI Luther. Okay? That's your show, dude. That's your show. Your serial killers, weird people, weird kind of character. That's your show.
I mean, plus it's Idris Elba, so the guy I don't think has turned in a bad performance.
Correct. But I was hurt because I love that too. Again, Thor.
Man.
Okay, and we're not going to tell you what exactly happened to him unless we just already did. But Idris Elba, dude, that's my guy.
Man, I was like, when I saw it happen, I was just like, okay, so that's what we're doing. All right.
That's the kind of character that, again, the way they draw him, the way that they make him out in the comics, his look, okay? When you see somebody fit that character as good as they made him look, you're like, dude, that's you guys are professionals for a reason. You guys did it. You guys right on, man.
And then when I was watching Ragnarok yesterday, they gave him so much more to do, and I was like, finally. Because since the first Thor movie, I was like, I want to see more of this guy. I want to see more of Heimdall. Let me see more. And we got it, and I was like, dude, he is a badass.
I was heard he doesn't appear as much as in the Dark World. He doesn't really appear too much in the Dark World, but the way that they, man.
Oh, the Dark World, he ended up, kind of being exiled.
Right.
When Loki took over, pretending to be Odin.
The Lady Sif, Xena. Well, the bottom line is we got to wait another year.
Yeah.
We have to wait another year in order for it to watch Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah. It'll be out in March of 2019. Captain Marvel.
Oh my god!
Because they want to get her movie in before Avengers, so we get an intro to that character.
Is that
who she is?
Is that the rationale?
That's what.
Are we having another movie at the end of the year besides
I don't know.
Ant-Man?
I don't know.
Are
we gonna wait that long? I mean,
dude, there's got to be a Christmas movie out, Marvel movie out there. I think there should be another Doctor Strange movie, personally. But again, Doctor Strange out of control.
So let's see the full Marvel movie release schedule. Going through Google again, you know. And of course, it's not going to load right away. So yeah, thanks for that.
Asking Grandma.
So let's see. Yeah, it looks like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, then Avengers 4.
Marvel movies 2018.
So let's see. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. We do get Luke Cage Season 2 coming up this June. We get Ant-Man and the Wasp in July.
Fantastic Four, maybe.
I'm not really counting Venom as a Marvel film, as it's Sony.
Oh,
so
my gosh. Really...
Okay, December. Well, wait a minute. This is a CG cartoon movie, so I don't know. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Looks like an
I'm looking at that too.
Animated film.
Silver and Black, that's a TV show, right?
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix will be next year, I think, the X-Men movie.
Wowzers.
Yeah. So we get Captain Marvel in March, and then May 3rd, 2019, Avengers 4. And then July 5th of next year, we'll get Spider-Man 2. The sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, dude, and then my movie. Do we want to talk about it? We're going to save it for another... The New Mutants.
New Mutants actually looks... That's the one that they're kind of going with a little bit of a horror bent to it, right?
And
looking insane,
incredible,
right?
Dude. Incredible.
I've seen just the teasers and some of the spots, and I'm like...
Okay, as a comic book fan of that particular comic, I cannot... That's what I wanted... That was the other thing... After this one, dude, I'm done. I'm tapped out. We did it. We covered everything. Hey, dude, so what they did to play off of that is they took a picture. Now, all right, let me explain this one to you. One of the girls, Ileana, I believe that's her name, in the New Mutants is Colossus's sister.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of him having a sister named something like that.
They all went to the They all went to the mutant school, Xavier's mutant school. She has a pet dragon named Lockheed. Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay. That's her pet.
Nice.
They draw the comic. He's a little dude. Most of the time, he's just breathing smoke, like he's just coughing up smoke. You get these little puffs of smoke, right?
Right.
But then every now and then he'll bust out a flame, like you're like, oh shit, okay, calm down, little dude, and it's got to be somebody like an Iceman or something like that has to put out the fire. Right. I'm just giving you an overview,
right.
My version of it. So that's her pet, right? There's another character in there. His name is Is it Warlock? Pretty sure this dude's name's Warlock. He's like an alien robot, like a weird alien robot. He can kind of turn into the Zan and Jaina. I could turn into anything I want at any time. Kind of deal.
Yeah. So he's got the Wonder Twins thing going on.
That character is what I'm waiting for in this New Mutants. He might not ever show up because again, this dude can only be done in CGI. That's the only way you could do it. He's not a character that turns into a robot. He is. They can do it now.
Look at what they've done. I mean, the Hulk is a full CGI character.
Correct. Okay.
A lot of the characters in Ragnarok, I mean, Thanos is a complete CGI character.
So check this one out. To hype up the story, hype up this movie, what they did is they took pictures of the actors as the New Mutants, right? With, in the same pose as an AC/DC cover.
Really?
In the AC/DC cover, I think it's Angus Young. Is he part of the AC/DC?
Yeah.
He has like horns, right? And he has a tail, or he has like a cleft tail. All right.
Huh.
You're gonna have to just type in New Mutants AC/DC cover.
That's what I'm looking up right now.
So but in the New Mutants, she had, and I don't know if this is fan base. I don't know if Marvel did this because they can afford the rights. But she's petting the tail of the dragon.
You're talking about that image right there?
Yeah.
The one? Yeah.
But
something like that.
It's something like that. But they don't show the. I'm not sure if that's the exact image.
Because they're showing. When we're looking it up here on Google, so you can just bear with us here, so you can see like right here.
The two images side by side.
Let's see if I can. No, it's not going to get any bigger, but yeah.
Okay, let me check that out.
This way. Yeah. So there's the two. There's the album cover for AC/DC, and then there's the New Mutants.
So, if I'm correct, that's not Angus Young. I think that's actually the lead singer.
It could be.
The lead singer on AC/DC. I'm not sure if that's the dude. That's not Angus Young. That's the lead singer, right? But he's petting his cleft tail, or his tail shows into the.
God, I don't know, because Angus used to always wear the schoolboy outfit, and that's kind of what this guy's wearing. So
right, it might be him. I'm not a huge
AC/DC person.
Correct.
Either, so.
But look how they freaked it, dude. They actually have the dragon in there. I flipped my wig.
I had seen that image and I didn't know where it was from, so I'm glad you told me where it came from.
Right.
Now I'm looking at it going, okay. Yeah, they recreated it well.
They freaked it, dude.
And one of the guys from Stranger Things is in New Mutants.
Really? Which one?
The guy that played the brother of Will. He's right there in the back wearing the hat. That's Winona Ryder's oldest son from Stranger Things.
Wow.
Yeah.
The one with the drug problem.
Yep, the one with the drug problem. Yeah. The well-publicized drug problem.
So you don't know, if you're not a fan of New Mutants, you don't know how cool that is.
Right. And, so
and if
if
you're a fan of AC/DC and of the New Mutants, you're peeing your pants, dude. You're losing your shit right now. You're like,
freaking
what?
out.
Like, what?
I'm just looking at it from a point of not knowing the New Mutants, but kind of knowing AC/DC and being a fan of the Marvel stuff anyway.
Right. Thank God for graphic novels, dude. And if you ever get a chance to get the ones for the cheap used one for
see wherever I can pick them up.
Just to catch up on the kind of...
Yeah, just to kind of read them and check them out. I mean, I went back and Leanne, my girlfriend, she got me The Killing Joke.
Right.
As a gift one year. We were at a comic book store and she goes, if you want it, get it. I'll get it for you. I was like, really?
That's Barbara Gordon?
Yeah, that's
Barbara
the
Gordon.
one where the Joker shoots Barbara Gordon and then tortures Jim Gordon with all the images of the implied rape of her and all that stuff.
That's right.
And solid story, very short. I've read it 2 different times now, and
well, they even had the animated version of it.
Was out, yeah.
Where
the movie was all right. They added some stuff in that
Mark Hamill as the voice of
Hamill
comes
back to do the Joker, because he said if they ever do, because he said I'm retiring as the voice of the Joker on one condition: if they ever do an animated version of The Killing Joke,
I'm in. Yeah.
And then Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman in the animated series,
he comes back.
He says, well, if he's on board, I'm back.
Right.
And
that's it.
They had him back, yeah.
Okay.
It was fine. I enjoyed it. There was some stuff they added that I was like, okay, you probably didn't need it, but...
Well, this gets to and again, going off the topic, I'm running out of voice more than I'm running out of topic, right? We're getting close to both of them, though. Okay, dude, at this time, right now, I'm saying you should invest in X Factor.
Okay.
It's not X-Men, it's X Factor.
Yeah, I had a couple of, I think, X Factor comics growing up.
So you know what's going on with those. And then New Mutants, because, and this would just irks the shit out of me about Deadpool, is that you see, when it gets to New Mutants 100, 97, 98, 99, and 100, right. The emergence of Deadpool, totally different character than what they got. And I enjoy the first movie. I haven't seen the second the second Deadpool, but I enjoy the first one. But it's not in the canon at all, dude. It has nothing to do with nothing, right. And it just burns me up, dude.
Well, from what I heard is that character has changed so much over time. When they started, he was a little more hardcore. He was more of a mercenary.
We didn't know that he's half robot or half zombie,
whatever. And then later on, they were like, "Oh, well, he was a part of the Weapon X program that created Wolverine. He was,
right,
Special Forces." It's like, well. And then it was, he breaks the fourth wall and is a smartass, and he's going to work with the mouth, and that's the more known version now.
So now we're going to make 9 movies about Deadpool with Cable.
Well, I mean, if there's anyone born to play the role of this interpretation of Deadpool, it's Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
really? I mean,
yeah. I mean, if you want the smartass Deadpool, this is. I mean, that's pretty much.
Well, he bought his way into being that guy.
Well, he was pissed after what happened to the Deadpool character in X-Men Origins Wolverine. He was not happy because he figured, I'm getting to play Deadpool. All right, I start out as Wade Wilson. I get to be Deadpool. I'm going to get to wear the costume. And they're like, oh, no, there's no costume. We're sealing up your mouth, and you're going to have these weird blades and laser eyes. And he was like, what?
Okay.
So when the time came where they were talking about maybe doing a Deadpool movie, he really fought and got together with those guys who made... Because that opening sequence from the first movie was just test footage they shot. Like, hey, we can make a Deadpool movie. Here's what we can do.
Okay.
And Fox was like, okay. People are loving it. Here's a budget. Go make the movie.
Right.
But Ryan Reynolds said, look, I want to be a producer. I want to have control of what's going on, and I want to make sure that this character stays true to what we've started. I want to make sure that you're not going to come in and change the character. It needs to be what we've established from this test footage that we shot.
And they're like, okay, okay, but it's going to cost you. He's like, okay, it's going to cost me, and he put his whole bankroll in there. Apparently, right? He put some money into it, and says he some.
Yeah, he put a lot, and he's reaped the benefits from it.
He's like, I might even give you my wife, dude, because of this. Okay, but all that just to say, dude, it is in your best interest to get ready for the New Mutants, to try to check out a little bit, even online, dude. If you even can get a little something, a little back history.
There's a ton of stuff where you can go online and get digital comics and go back. They have a lot of back issues and stuff.
Yeah, dude, it'll be in your best interest to check out the New Mutants, because it's just it looks like it's just going to be fucking crazy. Like, I'm scared. I'm not a horror guy, dude. I'm not a scary movie guy, but I'm a little freaked out. Like, am I going to be
That's
fucking...
my thing. So when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this is Mutants.
Dude, they do that thing where they put the face like it's a stretchy, like they're putting the face in that little stretchy plastic or whatever it is. You're like,
Yeah. And the one actress, the one that was front and center with the dragon in the cover art,
right?
She was in. I don't know if you saw the movie Split
with
James McAvoy.
He plays multiple characters.
Yeah, he's got the multiple
I do want to see that, though. I do want to see that.
She's in that, and she's good. She was also in a movie a couple years ago called The Witch.
Okay.
And she's in a movie that I really like called Morgan.
Okay.
She's like this genetic, and it's not spoiling anything, because once you get in, I can't really spoil it. So it's one of those where I can't really even explain.
Is she like a specialized agent in that one?
She was like a genetically created weapon for, so she knows all this fighting and not. I
might have even seen that.
I liked it. We went and saw it in the theater, and I enjoyed it.
It's
it
like
was different.
Is that Kate Blanchett in there or something? Who's like her handler? A well-famous actress, right?
Oh, it was
established actress.
Shit. I have to look it up because I cannot remember her name now. I can see her face.
I think I remember. If I haven't seen that movie, I've seen a movie that's close to that. A while back. This is a while back.
Yeah, this was 2016 it came out, so we're talking
3
years old.
Yeah.
Kate Mara.
Kate Mara was her handler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not so much a handler as a woman who came in to, like, assess what they were doing with her.
Okay.
Like, kind of get updates on the project or the program.
Yeah.
Because apparently she wasn't the first, but she was, like, the best version that came out or something.
I see. Well, the other thing, too, is the New Mutants is because in the New Mutants, at that time, leading into the later... Because what happened was New Mutants stopped, the series stopped, and it turned into X-Force. Okay. But between, going into, the 80s and the 90s, there numbers, 80s, 90s comic book number of the New Mutants... going to 100 and eventually ending, is Cable takes over being their teacher, as opposed to Professor X was to the new to the X-Men and the new X-Men and the Uncanny.
So he becomes sort of the mentor to all of them.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that that's not what's happening in Deadpool 2 with Cable.
Yeah, Cable and Deadpool 2, and I've heard a lot of people go, well, we didn't get a backstory on Cable, and they didn't talk about the fact that he's, Cyclops' son from the future. I'm like, we really didn't need all that.
Okay, well...
They established what his motivations were.
I forgot that he's Cyclops' son.
He's...
But that's a whole nother movie.
I was reading it up.
That's a whole other movie on that.
I forgot, and they're like, he's Nathan Summers, Scott Summers' son, Cyclops. I'm like, it wasn't needed for this. Because they established what his motivations were. Okay. And then you're like, okay, fine. So that's what Cable's going back in time for.
Isn't Shatterstar in there, too? There's a dude, that's his name, right?
Bedlam, Shatterstar, Domino. the Vanisher.
See, Domino and Shadowstar are somewhere in the New Mutants somewhere. Well, no, they're X-Force, but he's isn't he the son of Longshot in the X-Men?
He's I don't know. All I know is he was an alien from Mojo World. That's all I know about Shatterstar. And I got that from the movie, and then I looked it up later because I have no idea who Shatterstar is.
I think you're going to have to dig in a little bit deeper, but go the Longshot route and see what's going on with Longshot.
I have to check all that out because I've been meaning to read more about all
But
that.
again, dude, this is 30 years of comic book reading in 20 minutes. Dude. Oh, you got to check out the New Mutants. Oh, you got to check out
this. Which is why a lot of times
I
I kind of go to Wikipedia and go, okay, who's this character? Read the backstory, kind of read up on where they appeared, what happened here, where the major arcs for their character
Correct.
were. I'm like, okay, now I know more about who that is.
You will definitely enjoy reading like what these. It's just different once you see it visually. They're
right.
You know, when comics came out, you didn't. All you had was the text and the artwork, and eventually becomes a backstory. When you see it on the screen, you're excited that they put all of these to. But they changed this and they changed that, and you're like, but you're still like, yeah, but you're still, you're still, you know, like
you can't please everyone 100% of the time.
No,
and especially with comic book fans, because if you know a certain series from issue 1 to whenever it stopped,
Spawn,
and there's one thing that they didn't do,
you're gonna freak, you're gonna lose your shit. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Spawn,
here we go.
Heard about the new movie?
Podcast number 5.
I'm not trying to keep this going too long, but have you heard about the new? Because they want to do the new R-rated movie.
Yes.
Have you heard about who they said or who they have cast?
They just cast a new dude that's just out of control.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx is gonna be Spawn.
Jamie Foxx to play Al Simmons in the new Spawn movie.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, you have to check out Todd McFarlane's comic book sessions. What he does to draw Spider-Man and draw Spawn and draw Superman, and it's just out of control.
I saw one of those where he drew Spider-Man, and I was like, what? It was like, oh, I'm going to show you how I draw Spider-Man. I was like...
Computer, tablet.
Yeah. I was like, wow. That's insane.
Wacom tablet, right? Wacom tablet?
Something like that, yeah. Something that he said actually lets him... He goes, it gives me the feel like I'm drawing old school, like on paper, and he was doing it, and I'm like...
He doesn't even think.
No. There was no thought behind. His hand is separate from everything else. Like, his hand's just going and he's talking.
That's a dude who has kept his childlike enthusiasm for comics. There's nobody else like him, dude.
No.
There's nobody else like him.
And I hear people complain. They're like, oh, he's got millions. He spends it on baseballs. I'm like, yeah. He earned that money. Let him spend it on what he wants.
I forgot about that.
He created Spawn. He was on Spider-Man for a long time. I mean...
And he's just having fun.
Yeah.
He's just having fun.
He's just a guy who's like, I get to draw comic book characters for a living.
I get to.
Yeah, I get to. That is my job.
Right.
I wake up, I draw comic book characters.
I don't have to.
Yeah. He's like, if I want to... Well, he doesn't even have to do it anymore. But, I mean, if he wants to at any point, he could probably walk into anyone and go, hey, you want me to brush up that artwork? Because I've seen your last few issues, and they're kind of shitty.
Right.
He'd be like, I can fix it. Like... Well, you're Todd McFarlane, okay. It's not Rob Liefeld. A bunch of pouches and bad feet.
Talk about a guy who doesn't have to work
Tiny
anymore.
Feet and bad hands, actually.
Yeah, talk about a guy that doesn't have to work anymore. He's great.
And they made fun of him in the new Deadpool movie. I saw
really?
Deadpool too, and they make fun of him again.
Well, yeah. So the Todd McFarlane. Oh. When they figure out who's going to be Jamie Foxx's wife, then I'll be like, oh, really? Because that chick from the other one, she's incredible.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed the first one. I mean, is the CG kind of off? Yeah. It was, 97? So, yeah, it's not going to be completely perfect.
But it was fucking great, dude.
I was hoping that maybe they would have given Michael Jai White another chance at playing Spawn in an R-rated movie. He was good. I liked him. I mean...
I don't know why they have to do a new reboot. Why can't they just do a number 2?
Yeah. Or even if they said, hey, you know what? That first one was just kind of... We wanted to see if we could do it, so...
But, dude, Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx, you're not slouching at anything.
And I was looking at stuff online because I saw it posted on Facebook. And I was reading some comments from people I'm on this group page with. And one guy said, as long as Jamie Foxx doesn't have an ego about it and realizes he's going to have to wear the mask and he's going to have to be in burned face prosthetics for the majority of the film. And if he can embrace that, I'm on board. They're like, but if they go like, oh no, we're going to do it all CG, it's like,
The thing I like about Spawn, and I hope they take a page out of Doctor Strange, is that the cape itself is a character.
Yeah.
When they freak it and make it like that, I'll be all right. I don't care about the chick. I don't care about it's just its own character. And they did it they did a great version of that in Doctor Strange.
I had to explain that to Leanne, my girlfriend, when we were watching it. She was like, wait, the cape is its own? I said, okay, do you remember when he was fighting Mordo in the training?
Yes.
And he told him about the relics.
Right.
And he asked Mordo, well, when do I get one? He goes, no, it will choose you.
Right.
I said, if you watch that scene when he walks in there, that cape is essentially looking at him and following Strange through that whole room.
Yeah.
I was like, that cape chose him. That is his relic.
Right. Okay.
She's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, the cape is its own sentient being, but it's a relic. It has powers, and it chose him.
You're a little bit different because I feel bad that most of the times that we go out to the movies, I'm only taking my girl to see like Marvel movies. I feel a little bad. I'm not saying we have to watch a chick flick, but I'm like, hey, Infinity War, dude. Like, we gotta go.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling Infinity War. She goes, I haven't seen any of the others. I wouldn't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, I get it.
None of them? She's never seen any of them?
She's not a huge like action or comic book movie fan. Like, she liked the Batman movies, the Nolan Batman movies, and the Burton Batman films.
Right.
She did like the Sam Raimi directed Spider-Man films.
Okay.
So she likes that stuff, but she's not so into the entire, like, I gotta watch everything and know what's going on.
So you don't feel bad, that's what you're saying?
No.
No, we're gonna watch another Marvel movie, girl. I'm like, all right, let's go.
I put it on. I'm like, do you mind? She goes, no, it's okay. Because she's had me watch stuff that she likes, and I'm like, oh, man, I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
Oh, I'll watch stuff on Netflix, and I'll watch stuff on the Cheater Box, which I call the streaming services.
I should probably get one of those, but...
No, you don't. Don't get one of them, dude. You will never go outside again.
As it is right now, I have Netflix, Amazon Prime, a Vudu library of a ton of movies where stuff's constantly getting added. Right. Pluto TV, which shows a bunch of, like, MST3K episodes.
Sling.
And then YouTube. All that. I mean, and I've got my entire Blu-ray and DVD collection in there with a bunch of stuff I haven't even watched yet.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I own these movies and I haven't watched them.
I just feel a little bad that I'm taking my chick to nothing but Marvel movies.
No, I don't feel bad because we kind of trade off. Like,
okay.
I want to see this. Okay, let's go see it. Okay, I want to go see this one. Okay.
I think the one movie that I'm going to take her that is not a Marvel movie, but it's a kind of a guy movie, is that movie Tag that's coming out. Have you seen the commercials of that? I'm just falling off of my shit laughing.
I've seen one commercial for it, and I was like, what the hell? But,
I know guys like that. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, JB, I'm tapped, dude.
All right.
Let's see. What's the new one? Oh, go see Ant-Man and the Wasp, July 6, 2018.
Hear that, Disney? We're promoting your movies.
And I got
studios.
I got a script that I'm working on, Disney, called The Micronauts. Go check it out. Always doing the morning mix. You guys just did one on Saturday. You guys need a DJ? I'll hook you guys up.
So is there anything like you're doing that you want to promote or anything? I don't know if you got anything going on.
Okay. I do have a couple paintings that I did in the Iconic series. 3-toned colors. Run DMC. Let's see here. Quincy Jones and Chuck Mangione.
Very nice.
And they're all from the Iconic series. I'm thinking about getting Slick Rick. And basically what it is anybody wants to has any ideas for 3-toned music artists, let me know. I'm doing research for Slick Rick, see if we can get a three color image of that guy that I can paint.
Nice. Yeah, so if you have if you have like an email or something that you want to put out for people to send that to or anything, or
I will go ahead and do that. You'll have to check out the images from my Instagram account. They're not the actual images because I don't want people ripping off my stuff. But
I get it. I get it.
The image is there. If you have any suggestions on who I should paint next with a 3-toned base, then give me a holler.
Yeah, cool. Shoot me over your Instagram details, and I'll drop them in the show notes.
Excellent.
For this, and then I'll just, when I record the outro to this, which I haven't done yet, I'll drop it in there and tell them to go check it out.
Perfect.
And then let them know if they have any suggestions. Just hit you up on Instagram and.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if that's cool.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm not a snapper, so there is no Snapchat in my. I'm not a 14-year-old girl.
No, that's fine. I only use Snapchat to just do funny shit back and forth with my girlfriend. We'll just do face things back and forth.
Excellent. Excellent. So, but still, I'm not a snapper, ladies. Yeah. There will be no rainbow vomit coming from my mouth, and there will not be any bunny ears on the top of my head. So, yeah, but holler, people. You know what's going on.
Yeah, so this has been fun, man.
Yeah.
We'll have to get together and do this again.
Oh, well, okay. We'll come back and we'll do phase 2.
Yeah.
We'll do a review of phase 2.
Let's do it.
Because by then you'll be all caught up on your Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah.
And so phase 2, we're going into Captain America, Age of Ultron, Thor, Iron Man 3, I believe.
I think Iron Man 3,
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
I think those are. I mean, we can do the research and find out what exactly. But next time I come back, we're doing Marvel Phase
exactly what's
2.
In Phase 2. We'll cover all Phase 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you I was doing my research. I told you. I'm here.
Oh yeah.
All right, JB.
All right, man. That's it.
We did it.
That was fun.
We killed it.
We killed it. That'll do it for episode 5 of the Skewered Universe Podcast. I need to thank my friend Chris for coming out to record this episode, as well as thank him for the idea of doing this Marvel discussion. It was so much fun to get together with him. Hopefully you guys had as much fun listening to it as I did recording with him. I know we kind of went off on tangents here and there, but that's the nature of this podcast. You knew that when you started listening, so enjoy it. It's just free-flowing, man. Enjoy how we do this. Also, I'm going to drop a link to his Instagram in the show notes, so you can go over there and check out Chris's artwork, and if you have an idea for some custom work, hit him up and let him know. Talk to him and see what you can work out. But while you're on the internet, why don't you go to your URL bar and type in skeweredhead.com. That is the official Skewered Universe website where you can read my blog where I post all sorts of random shit that comes into my head. You can also, from there, click a little button that'll take you right to the Facebook group page. That is the Skewered Universe Facebook group. I'll let you in if you ask. Just don't be a dick. Otherwise, you're out of here. After you check out the Facebook group, maybe you have Twitter. I don't know. Most people do. But you can search for us there at Skewered U. That is the official Skewered Universe Podcast Twitter. And after that, why don't you head over to Instagram? You can look us up at Skewered_Universe. That is all lowercase. And then to get the show, here's the most fun. To get the show, you can head on over to skewereduniverse.podomatic.com. You can also find us in the Google Play Store. And you should be able to find us in iTunes. I'm still trying to finalize all that. But shoot me an email, jeff@skeweredhead.com. You can find the button on the website, skeweredhead.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know if you found us in iTunes. And that's it. This has been episode 5. I have been Jeff, your host. Again, a big thanks to Chris for coming out and recording this episode. And remember, we're going to be doing a phase 2 very soon. In the meanwhile, keep enjoying the universe. It's just a little bit skewered. Later, guys.